session 2 of the week. It's going to be Pilates based, so I'm going to take you through a workout. We're going to go really slowly today, taking one exercise at a time. And the only reason I'm going to take it really slowly is because I'm teaching you really traditional, stripped down versions of Pilates exercises. And so I want you to have an understanding of them when I teach them. And I'm only going to go one time through the whole routine because I want to take one exercise at a time and really help you understand what the focus of each exercise is, okay? So before we get started, just for you to have a better understanding of what we're doing, it is definitely core based, okay? But the Pilates moves have to do with the entire body. So arms are moving, legs are moving, trunk is engaged, glutes, abdominals, shoulders. We'll be working our shoulders and our chest muscles as well. But yeah, so it's just going to be Pilates moves. So we're going to go ahead and warm up. And what I want you to keep in mind is that when we are using our core muscles, we're primarily trying to scoop, which is another way of saying that we're pulling our abdominals in and rounding our backs, okay? So I'm going to show you a profile. So this can be done standing, kneeling, sitting, as well as lying on the floor on our backs. And so I'm going to show you from a kneeling position what I mean. And that is that I'm going to pull my abdominals in and I'm going to start to push the middle of my back, which means I'm going to tilt my hips forward and round my shoulders. So if you do this, it's also sometimes called a C position of our spine. And so what we're doing is we're rounding our back, but we're also drawing in our abdominal muscles so they're engaged, okay? So we're going to practice this move with an exercise called chest expansion. So I want you to go ahead just to warm up. We're going to bring our arms outside our chest here, outside our shoulders here. And I'm going to round my arms forward like I'm hugging a really big tree here, but I don't want to touch the tree with my abdomen. So I'm going to round or scoop, pull my arms and shoulders forward and my hips get tilted forward, but my back pushes back and it's round. Then I come back up tall with my arms extended to my sides, and then again, scooping. So we're just going to practice this move here while we're breathing. Big expansion of the breath and expansion of the arms. I'm going to inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. So you should feel your lumbar area of your back warming up, as well as your upper thoracic area, which is your upper middle back there. And of course your arms and your shoulders. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come down to table and we're going to do that cat and cow exercise. And it's the same thing, right? We're rounding or scooping our belly, which means we're rounding our back, and our hips get pulled under and our head comes down. And then we go into cow and we flatten and head comes up, hips come back, and then we're scooping or rounding for cat and cow. So it's the same principle, the same idea, that when we round our back, we're really focusing on pulling those abdominals up and in. Good. All right, so now we're going to go into that dynamic move. So bring your hands forward and your hips come down. And then I'm going to pull my hips back and bring my trunk down and forward and back. So now we're getting some hips involved. a seated position. So now I'm going to show you what this scooping looks like when you're seated. So I want you to practice this with me. So your knees are parted and your feet are parted. Your hands are on your knees here. And so when we scoop, it's like we collapse our back. So go ahead and do that. So just let your lower back go. Collapse your back. And then that means we're going to start to round our back here. Pull our abdominals in, start to scoop, right? And the scooping when we're seated, our shoulders come forward and are rounded, and we're scooped here. Oh, hi, kitty cat. And then we're going to push our abdomen forward and sit up tall and flat back. Okay, see the difference? So I'm collapsing and scooping, rounding, and then sitting up tall. And I'm just going to lean back as I scoop and then lean forward and flat back. Sometimes my cat makes an appearance in the videos. So hopefully you're feeling what's happening when you're scooping. Okay? Good. Okay, so now we're going to come down to our backs. Now, a few things I want to talk to you about with regard to just safety as far as your neck, and obviously you don't want to cause stress to your neck. So anytime we lift our head up off of the mat with these moves, we want to see if we can focus on bringing that chin down to our chest. So we're going to round our neck so it looks like this. Go ahead and lift your head up, and then I want you to drop your chin down to your chest. And now you're going to look down at your belly button or your abdomen, okay? So when I say we're rounded neck and chin to chest, that's what this position is. It's different from when the chin is up, right? And we're looking up at the ceiling. There's a lot of strain or stress on that neck. So we're just going to drop that chin down. And then our shoulders will come up off the mat. And you'll begin to feel those the abdominals engaged, right? So you're feeling that activation there. Now from here, what I want you to do is I want you to press that lower back down into the mat. Like actively, physically press that back down into the mat. So you're engaging those muscles and you're holding and you're tensing them up, right? And I want you to press that back down into the mat. Now I want you to breathe while you're doing this. So just relax your breath. Inhale and exhale while you're scooping. Go ahead and bring your head down to the mat. Now what I want you to do is I want you to try and do the same thing with your head down on the mat. I want you to try to press your back down into the mat and pull those abdominals down or trying to scoop. Now when you do that, you should feel your glutes engaging, right? And you feel maybe like a little bit of a hip lift because you're trying to press that lower back down into the mat. Because when your head is down, you have that natural arch in your back, right? Right around here. And if I'm trying to actually physically pull or push that low back down, something happens in this pelvic girdle, this pelvic area, for that to happen, right? So that's another part of what happens when we scoop. So from here, what I want you to do is I want you to lift your head, lift your shoulders. I want you to bring your chin down to your chest. And now I want you to try and press that back down into the mat and also engage those glutes, like you're tilting your hips up towards the ceiling because you're trying to press that lower back into the mat. Do you feel that? Now your glutes are engaged, your abdominals are engaged, your back is engaged, right? And you're breathing. Feel the difference now? Okay, now you're going to come down and relax the head. Good. Okay, so when I say scoop, that's what I mean by that. Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to do one exercise at a time. And this first one here, it's going to be a modified single leg exercise. So we're going to keep one leg on the ground. So I'm going to keep my right foot on the ground with my leg bent. And I'm going to bring my left leg in with my knee bent. Okay? Now, from here, I'm going to lift my head and shoulders, chin to chest. I'm going to focus on scooping and breathing. And I'm just going to extend my leg out and pull it in. That's all we're doing, okay? Here we go. Ready? Lift up, scoop, engage the muscles, start the breathing, pull one knee in, extend that leg out, pull it in and out. So we're breathing continuously, just nice and controlled breathing. Don't forget to scoop. Still need to do that, right? Connect that back to the mat. And we're going to rest the head. We're going to bring this leg down to the floor. We're going to bring the other knee in. And we're going to do the same thing with the other leg. Okay, here we go. Lift head, shoulders, chin to chest, scooping, breathing, and moving. One more. And rest. Rest your head and your foot down. Good. Okay, so the next exercise is going to be practicing both legs coming in, okay? And we're going to modify this one as well. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and bring both knees in. Now from here, I'm going to lift my head and shoulders up off the mat. So I immediately connect my low back, right, down to the mat. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and bring my arms down to my sides. Okay, so we're going to just drop both feet down to the mat. And then we're going to lift both knees and pull them in. Chin to chest, scooping, and breathing. We're going to rest the head, bring the feet down, and rest here. Good. Okay, so we're going to do a little bridge work, okay? And so now we're really focusing on our lower back and our glutes and our hamstrings, okay? So I'm going to keep my arms at my sides, and my feet are going to be parted and stay connected to the mat. And from here, I'm going to lift my hips up off of the mat. Now, when we lift the hips for the bridge, this is what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on engaging the glutes, engaging the quads, so nice and strong, right? You'll feel the hamstrings get involved here. And now I want you to pull your abdominals in and engage your abs. That helps stabilize your back. Do you feel that? I want you to hold this position here, and I want you to breathe. So there's all kinds of things going on here, right? Here, 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 back, abs, a lot going on. Now I want you to go ahead and lower your hips, relax the muscles, lower your hips. So anytime we bridge, I want you to activate those muscles. Here we go, let's try this again. Lift the hips, engage the glutes, quads, hamstrings, back, abdominals. Breathe. Come down, relax. Let's go one more. Lift up, engage. And go ahead and lower. Release, relax. Good. Okay. So this exercise that we've actually done before because I have been infusing some of the Pilates moves. And that's the crisscross leg drop. So go ahead and bring both knees in. Now, we're going to lift our head and our shoulders up, which means our chin is to our chest, and we immediately start scooping and connecting that back. I'm going to go ahead and bring my hands behind my neck. And now I'm going to leg drop. So I'm going to drop my right foot down to the floor, come across to my left, keeping my shoulders elevated off the mat. I'm just going to slowly alternate while focusing on the scooping. So keeping that back connected to the mat. As I rotate, engaging those abdominal muscles, breathing, all of those things. And we're going to go ahead and rest. Bring the feet down. Bring the head down and the arms down. Good job. So now we're going to do a modified double straight leg. And so we're going to move both knees at the same time, or both legs at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and bring both knees in. I'm going to bring my head and shoulders up off the mat. Go ahead and bring your hands back behind your neck again. So we're holding here. Now we're going to extend these legs out, pull them back in, and then I'm going to lift them up. Okay? Bend, extend, pull in, and up. Now while we're doing this, I'm focusing on scooping, so my abdominals are nice and strong. Breathing. We're going to rest. Feet down, head down, arms down. Good. Okay, so we're going to do a little move and stretch here with the straight leg. So go ahead and bring one leg up. Keep the other leg down. And we're just going to work on pulling the leg gently towards our trunk so we get a nice big stretch through the back of the leg. But we're going to do this with our head and shoulders up off the mat. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and lift, scoop, and from here I'm going to pull this leg in and let it go, and pull it in and let it go. So the hip stays connected to the mat, our back is connected to the mat, the leg is doing the work, chin is to chest, looking down at your belly button. I'm going to get a nice big stretch through the back of that leg. All right, we're going to bring this leg down, head down. We're going to switch legs, head and shoulders up, scooping, straight leg stretch. One more. And rest. Good. So from here, what I want you to do is I want you to go one more bridge exercise. So we're going to bring our feet together though and our knees together. And I'm going to bring my arms at my sides. So I'm going to still lift my hips up, but when I get to the top, I'm going to part my knees. So I'm opening my legs up, keeping my feet together, and then I'm going to close my knees and then lower my hips. So there's a little clam, it's called a clam move, so an opening of the knees. So we're going to lift, open, close, and lower. Up, out, in, and down. Up, out, in, and down. One more. Up, out, in, and down. Good. Go ahead and bring both knees in. Release that back. Bring the feet down to the mat. We're going to roll to our side, push ourselves up to a seated position for some exercises here. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of a seated balance move where we're going to work on just leg work here from a seated position. So what's going to happen is we're going to bring our hands back behind our hips. And I'm going to extend one leg. Now, as I'm leaning back, my back is flat, so I have a nice tall trunk here. And I'm going to bring this knee in, and then extend this leg out. Again, pull it in and out. We're just leaning slightly back, in and out, in and out, and in, out, in, and out. Gonna bring that foot down, lean forward, release that back a little bit, and then we're gonna switch legs. So you should really feel the top of that hip working, right? So come back, extend the other leg, flat back, tall trunk. We're gonna pull this knee in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. One more. In and out. Good. Come forward. All right, go ahead and extend your legs out. And you're going to keep your legs together, okay? And we're just going to go through a dynamic stretch here. So sitting up tall, I'm going to outstretch my arms above my head. I'm just going to pitch forward, so hinging forward. And then I'm going to pull my arms in and scoop my belly. So I'm going to round my back here as I pull my arms in. And then I'm going to push my abdomen forward when I reach up with my arms and stretch forward again. So as I'm pulling in, I'm rounding my back, pushing up, push my abdomen forward. So a nice big stretch. All right, so go ahead and bend your knees. We're going to lean back on our elbows. So we're pretty much going to do the same move that we just did in that seated balance, except we're leaning back on our elbows. So when we're leaning back on our elbows, we want to push our abdomen up so our back is nice and flat. We're going to extend one leg, and from here I'm going to lift the leg and lower the leg. Nice and strong in the leg. Abdomen is nice and strong. Back is nice and strong. Good. We're going to switch legs. Again, lifting and lowering. One more. Good. Now we're going to sit forward. And now we're going to split our legs. So we're just going to open our legs. And we're going to do the same stretch that we just did with our legs together, but now with our legs open. So we're reaching up. We're going to pitch forward. And then around our back, pull our arms in, and repeat. One more. Good. Okay, so now we're going to do what's called a mermaid exercise. So this is great for flexibility. So what you're going to do is put your legs in what I call a Z position. The legs are folded to the side and bent. And you're going to want to find a good comfortable position here. Try to stay as centered as possible, which means your trunk is straight up from your hips, okay? So I'm going to put one hand on my shin, my leg, and then I'm going to put the other hand down on the mat. And I'm going to sit up tall. And so this is just a side bend exercise. So I'm going to keep hold of my shin, my lower leg, and I'm going to let go of the mat, and I'm going to sweep my arm up and over and pull my trunk into this side bend here. And then I'm going to let go of this shin here, place the hand on the mat, sweep over and bend this elbow and get a nice big side bend stretch here. Come back up, hold onto the leg, pull, place, sweep. So you want to try and keep your trunk as tall as possible during this exercise. So you get a nice big stretch through the sides, but the trunk is working, right? Muscles are working, lower back muscles are working to keep our trunk nice and tall. Okay, so now we're going to switch the legs to the other side. Find that comfortable position. Hold on to the shin, tall trunk, and pull. All right, now come back to center, what I call a knee hug. So you're just going to bring your knees in and bent, and then just hug those knees and release that back. Okay, so now we're going to do some exercises on our tummy. So we're going to turn over to our tummy. And I think we've done this exercise before as well. So we're doing a trunk lift here. So we're trunk lift onto our arms. So that just means that our lower body stays grounded on the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and outstretch my arms and come down onto my forehead. And what's going to happen is I'm going to pull my arms in. As I press my pelvis down, my glutes are engaged. My elbows come in. I'm resting here on my forearms, here at the top. And then I extend my arms down and come back down to my forehead. Okay? So nice and slow, we're going to lift and pull and press and breathe. And down. And up. And down. And up. And down. And up. And down. Good. So now we're going to focus on our lower body, so our head stays down, our trunk stays down. From here, I'm going to just lift one leg up off of the mat, keeping the pelvis connected. I'm pressing down, so my glutes are engaged, right? I'm going to keep this leg straight. I'm just lifting it, elevating it from the mat, not too high, and then I'm going to lower it. That's it. I'm going to lift my other leg up, tighten the glute, hold, breathe, and down. And other leg up, and down, and up, other leg, and down, and up, other leg, and down, other leg up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down. Good. I want you to bring your hands back outside your chest here. And from here, we're going to press up, keeping our knees down on the mat. And then we're going to pull our hips back. And then I'm going to pull my hips forward. And then I'm going to come back down again. Come all the way down. I'm going to press up again. Pull my hips back. Hips back to start. And trunk down. Up again. And back. And forward. And down. One more. Up. And back. And forward. And we're going to stay here in table. Okay, so from here, we're going to just work on our leg lifts. So anytime we're in table, we're going to pull our abdominals up and in. That helps stabilize our back, right? And from here, I'm just going to extend my leg back. Pull it back down. Switch legs. Nice and slow, extend it back. And down. Switch legs. Back. And down. And back. And down. Now we're going to add the arms. So I'm going to add the opposite arm. So I'm going to reach back with my left leg and reach forward with my right arm. And down. My right leg goes back. My left arm goes forward. And down. This is bird dog. Focusing on centering your body and balance. No rush at all, no hurry. Good. All right. We're going to go ahead and come up to a kneeling tall position. So we're going to take this weight off of our arms now. Now from here, what I want you to do is I just want you to raise your arms out away from your body just slightly. And you're just going to rotate and back to center and rotate, back to center. Okay, now I want you to lean slightly back as you rotate. So it looks like this. Leaning slightly back, leaning forward. Other side, leaning slightly back and forward. Back is nice and strong and flat. Trunk is tall. We're just leaning back with bending those knees, keeping our hips forward and strong and engaged. Good. Now I want you to swing your arms slightly higher as you lean back. Pull them down. Other side higher. So more of a lift as you slightly lean back. All right, we're going to come into table again. Okay, so now from here, we're going to go ahead and extend this leg out. And I'm going to keep this, obviously keep this leg bent, right? And I'm just going to extend my arms out a little bit farther away from me. And I'm going to push back. So that I'm getting a nice big stretch through this inner thigh here, okay? And then I'm going to come forward and back. And forward and back. Why? Good. All right, bring that leg in. We're going to switch to the other leg. Extend that leg out. Again, pulling the hips back. Keeping that leg straight and forward. Bring that leg in. Okay, now from here, we're going to use the arms and we're going to thread that needle. That just simply means I'm going to bring my right arm under my left arm. I'm going to pull my hips back, lower my trunk down to the mat. Come back up, bring that hand back. Thread the needle with the other side, left arm. Pull the hips back, drop the arm and head. Back up top to table. Again, right arm. Great stretch, dynamic stretch for the low back, the shoulders. Table again. All right, go ahead and keep this leg bent. I want you to lift this knee up here. Now, I am going to drop this knee back behind my back leg and then lift this leg up, back to start. That's all. Ready? We're going to drop it down behind the leg, back up, keeping the leg bent. Hips stay in the same position, it's just the leg doing the work for now. Now I want you to pull your hips back a little bit, touch the knee down, pull the leg up. Pull the hips down, touch the knee down, and up. You should feel this in that outer hip of that lower leg that's grounded on the floor, supporting the weight, right? One more. And come back to table. All right, lift the other leg. Pull it down across. Hips stay static. We're not moving the hips yet. Just the leg does the work. All right, now we're going to pull the hips down and the leg and back. Hips down, leg down and back. Bring this knee down. You're going to come back into low back stretch. I want you to bring your arms back with your legs so you take that weight off of those shoulders. Resting on your forehead. Nice. All right, we're going to go over to our side now and do some work on our side. How you doing? We doing all right? Okay. So we're going to start on our elbow and then we'll go down to our side. So starting on our elbow, we've done exercises like this before. Keeping my forearm facing forward so my shoulder is right above my elbow here. Legs are folded, bent, right? Stacked. All right, I'm going to bring my hand up here to my hip, and we're just going to warm up by lifting those hips up and down and up and down and up, down and up and down and up and down. Good. Now what I want you to do is I want you to extend this leg out when you lift your hips. So it looks like this. Up and out and down. And out and down. Out, down, and out and down. One more. All right, so now I want you to bring this top leg back and extend this bottom leg. And now I want you to bring your arm all the way up. And we're going to pull this leg up and pull the arm down to meet. So what happens is you're going to rotate your hips back so you can lift this leg and then forward. See that happening? It's a little bit of a rotation or a pivot. So we're going to come up and down and up and down, up and down, up and down. We're going to switch sides, staying on our elbow, legs folded, hand on hip. Hip lifts, other side. Here we go. Up and down, up, down, up, down, up, and down. We're going to extend this top leg, up and down. Down, up, up, down, one more, up, and down. Top leg back, bottom leg straight, arm up, and lift and rotate back, and push the hips forward. One more. Good. All right, staying on this side, we're going to go down to our side, all the way down to our side. Okay, so this top leg's going to do the work. So I'm going to lift this leg, keeping it in alignment with my bottom leg, and we'll bring this hand out in front for balance. And I'm just going to pulse this leg. And I'm going to focus on strength in this leg, so the muscles are nice and strong. All right, you can bring your hand behind your head up here, top. Now I'm going to rotate this leg a little bit out, and I'm going to pull this knee up towards my shoulder. Here. So it's out, and in, and out, and in. And we'll go one more exercise here. We're going to go straight leg up and down, and up and down. So a lot of hip work here, obviously. Stronger our hips are, stronger our core is, right? All right, bend your knees, push yourselves up. Other side, all the way down. Top leg is lifting, and we have pulsing. Here we go. All right, prop your hand behind your head, and we're going to pull this knee in with open hip. And then we're going to go leg raises. Up, down. Strong leg, remember. Okay. All right, bend your knees, push yourselves up. Good. Bring your legs around to front. We're going to do some arm exercises. So right now I just want you to knee hug so that we can get centered again. So release your back, let your back go. Good. All right, we're going to sit up with bent knees. We're going to do arm circles. So sitting up nice and tall with our trunk, extending our arms, we're just going to circle up top with strong arms. And we're going to reverse the circle. Go the opposite direction. Good. Now we're going to bring our arms out in front, palms facing down, and we're going to go over the top, pulse here, over the top, switching. So right over left here, left over right. Right over left, left over right, right over left, left over right. Good. Go ahead and turn the hands towards each other now, palms facing, and you're going to pull your elbows back, bent arms here towards your trunk, and push forward and back and forward. So we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together as we pull those elbows back. Good. All right, drop those arms down. Go ahead and extend those legs. And we're just going to reach our arms forward and let our backs go. Now I'm going to have my right hand come across my left ankle, and I'm going to pull gently, try to pull my trunk towards my legs. And then I'm going to go left hand over right ankle, pull. And then back to center. And I'm going to walk my hands back up my legs. And we're done. Nice job, you guys. Make sure to comment after the workout, and I will see you next time.